All right, let's dive right in. Welcome back to the Explainer, Class 3 learners. Today, oh man, we have a truly explosive topic on our hands. We're going to be looking at something that rumbles, shakes, and literally bursts with power. That's right, we are exploring a volcanic eruption.
So, question for you right out the gate. Are you ready to learn the explosive words of week 4? Because I know I am. We're going on this really fun vocabulary journey today, and by the end of it, you're going to be absolute experts at how to describe one of nature's most incredible and powerful events.
Here is your exact week 4 assignment, straight from that spelling list of yours. We've got 7 fantastic, powerful words to learn here. But, we aren't just going to stare at a boring list and memorize them. No way! We are going to learn these words by telling a story together. The epic story of a sleeping mountain waking up. Let's see how this all builds. Okay, our story actually begins deep, deep underground. Way before you can even see a volcano doing anything at the surface, you might feel a tremor. A tremor is basically a small shaking of the ground. Imagine you're standing in a super quiet, peaceful field, right? And suddenly the earth under your shoes gives this little shiver, just a rumble. It's not some giant, scary earthquake, just a really subtle shake. That is a tremor, and it's the very first sign that something is waking up beneath us. But what's actually causing the ground to shake like that? Well, it's magma. Magma is this incredibly hot, melted rock that's trapped deep under the ground. I mean, it is so hot down there that solid stone actually turns into a thick, glowing, bubbling liquid. And because it's trapped way down below our feet, it pushes up. It's trying to find a way out to the surface. That heavy pushing is exactly what causes those tremors we just talked about. Eventually, all that bubbling magma creates way too much pressure. It just pushes and pushes and pushes until, boom! The pressure gets too high, the rocks completely break apart, and the volcano finally blows its top. This spectacular event is called an eruption. An eruption is when the volcano shoots out lava, gas, and ash super high into the air. That sleeping mountain has finally woken up with a giant roar, and it is putting on a massive, fiery show.
Now, here is a really neat trick of science and vocabulary. Remember our underground word magma? Well, once that hot magma escapes and erupts out of the top of the volcano, we actually call it something else. We describe it as molten rock. Molten means glowing, melted rock that is flowing out from a volcano. Picture this bright orange, ridiculously hot river sliding right down the side of the mountain. That beautiful but totally dangerous glowing river, that is molten rock.
While that molten rock flows down the mountain, I want you to picture looking straight up at the sky in our story. What do you see up there? Well, you'd see billowing smoke and ash. Billowing describes those massive clouds of ash puffing up and rising higher and higher into the atmosphere. Imagine these huge, dark, fluffy clouds rolling out of the top of the volcano, just growing bigger and bigger until they practically block out the sun. That puffy, rolling, expanding movement, that is exactly what the word billowing means. Now, let's put our serious thinking caps on for a quick second. Because volcanoes are so incredibly powerful and hot, they can be catastrophic. Catastrophic is a very big word, and it means causing great damage. When a volcano erupts, the sheer heat of that molten rock and the heavy, billowing ash can destroy entire forests, cover up roads, and just break things in its path. It's a major, serious event that completely changes the shape of the land around it. And that brings us to the end of our volcano story. After the eruption finally stops and the mountain goes back to sleep, what's left behind? We call it devastation. Devastation is the messy, ruined land or area that has been damaged right after an eruption. It's this big, quiet space where maybe green trees or fields used to be, but now it's just covered in gray ash and cooled hard rock. It really shows us just how powerful nature can be. Man, what an amazing story. Let's do a really quick review of those 7 explosive words we just brought to life. Ready? Tremor, that little warning shake. Magma, the underground melted rock. Eruption, the massive blast. Molten, the glowing rock outside. Billowing, those huge puffy ash clouds. Catastrophic, the extreme damage. And devastation, the ruined area left behind. You guys are absolute vocabulary champions. Now, to really show off how smart you are, let's put everything together into one amazing paragraph. Listen closely to how cool this sounds. The tremor warned of the magma. A catastrophic eruption sent molten rock flowing and billowing ash into the sky, leaving total devastation. Wow! Do you see how perfectly all of these new words fit together to paint this crystal clear picture? You just learned how to write and sound like a literal scientist talking about the Earth.
So, as we wrap up our explainer today, I want to leave you with one final fun thought to chew on. Which volcano vocabulary word is your absolute favorite? Seriously. Maybe you love the way billowing sounds when you say it out loud. Or maybe eruption is just the most fun to imagine. Pick your favorite, write it down, and go share it with your friends or parents today. Keep practicing these powerful words, and you'll be a geology expert in no time. Thanks so much for learning with me today, Class 3.